Let's get to the last bit, which I didn't even think I was gonna have. Y'all. So while I was at D23, and some people were missing out because I saw some people dip out, and that's okay. You gotta miss the last bit. While I was at D23, I had people hit me up, and people was like, yo, E-Man, did you know that Derrick Boseman was there? Chadwick's brother. He was accepting an award on behalf of Chadwick. And I was like, no, I didn't. Like I was there. I was downstairs. Like I did not know. And nobody let me know. So I was like, dang, man, I miss Derrick Boseman. That would have been so dope, to be able to get a chance to talk to him or just be there. But because look at God. I'm sitting here walking out of my hotel, and the second I walk out of my hotel, I see some brother just closing up a back truck or something, and all of a sudden, I see Derrick Boseman just right there. And I'm like, get out of town. I was like, what? I was like, yo, Mr. Boseman. And he was like, yes. And I was like, sir, it's me. And he was like, who are you? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, you don't know my face. Because I've talked to Derrick. I've talked to him via text. And I've spoken to him over the phone, but like obviously he never knew what I looked like. So I know what he looked like, but he didn't know what I looked like. So I was like, sir, it's me, Recast T'Challa, Emmanuel Noise. And he was like, what's going on, brother? So we're just sitting there, we chopping it up, we having a good old time. And he was telling me a funny story. I actually didn't advertise this because I don't like to really talk about it, but I actually made a donation to his church because he's a pastor, and he's a good preacher too. So I made a donation to his church, and he was telling me about how he was like, yeah, didn't you send me that donation check? And I was like, yeah, the whole Recast thing, I wanted to show some support. And because I was like, I thought it was kind of messed up that because you already know when I sell the Recast T'Challa shirts, I already donate all those proceeds to Colon Cancer Coalition. But I was like, I feel like, if I could donate something to the family directly, I would, So I took some of that and I donated to him. He was like, yeah, I got the check. My wife was, she saw it and it was just sitting under my desk. And I was like, did you cash it? Please tell me you cashed it. He was, oh no, we did. And I was like, okay. Because if you had told me you threw that check away, like I would have been, that would have kind of hurt me, But yeah, so we had a great conversation. Unfortunately, I can't reveal obviously what we talked about, just to respect his privacy, but it was a great meeting. I think we chopped it up for like 20 minutes and we was just talking. It was so funny because I went up to the car because I was like, oh, can I say hello to your wife? Because like we kind of talked about it. We used to talk about each other's wives and stuff like that. And I was like, can I say hello to the wife? And he was like, yeah, she's in the car. So I go by the car to just like wave. The whole Boseman family is there. Mama, daddy, I think some cousins, the wife, and Chadwick's wife was there too, his widow. And I probably said something stupid because I didn't know all of them were in there. So I was just like, oh my God, how are y'all doing? Hi, God bless y'all. Love y'all. Okay, bye. I don't know. I said something stupid. But it was really, really good to know that he was very supportive of Recast T'Challa. And the thing that I'm going to talk about hopefully next week, I brought it up to him. So when you tune in next week and you hear the announcement that I'm gonna give next week, just know that that I did bring this up specifically to him, and he was like, I like that. Cool. That's all I needed. All I needed was for somebody who knew the brother, who knew Chadwick, to kind of, I'm not saying he was like, yes, I fully endorse, but I'm saying like, yo, you tell me cool, that means I'm not doing something, bad or against the family or whatever. So the fact that he was very okay with this thing that I'm about to do and I'm gonna announce next week, that gave me a really, really nice sense of validation right there. So with that said, we started talking about his speech because I was like, man, I missed you. If I had known, I would have been in there to, support you and all that. And he was like, man, they didn't play the video. And I was like, you're right, because I've been looking for Derrick's speech. And I'm not going to speak for him. And I'm not going to reveal what he said. But he did encourage me to watch the speech. With that said, I got a copy of the speech. He actually sent me a copy of the speech. And I'm going to play the speech for y'all too. And again, I'm not going to speak for him, but there are things in the speech that I think mean more things than they came off. I'm gonna say it that way, and I'm gonna leave it there. Now let's get it cracking. This is going to be Derrick Boseman's speech at D23. Might not have gotten a lot of airtime, but we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna see what happens. All right, here we go.
Derrick Boseman.
I don't know if Josh is still here or not. Thank you for shouting out Chad.
Josh
and
Gad.
I know that he loves you. On behalf of my parents who are here, my wife is here, one of my sons is here, two of my cousins who are like sisters are here, Chad's widow Simone is here. When I heard that Disney wanted to honor Chad, the first word that came to mind for me was the word honor. And so I looked it up. And the dictionary simply said, well, one of the dictionaries said that honor is a good name. And since I'm a preacher, I went to the scripture where it says that a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. As I think about my brother and this honor that's being bestowed upon him, first of all, I wish that he was here to receive it. Him not being here has been a point of immense pain for my whole family. But as I think about him, I think about how he honored our parents, how he honored his family, how he honored even his friends, and he made sure that his friends also had good careers.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to rewind that back a little bit of what. Hold on. I think he said something very important there. I'm just going to rewind that.
I honored even his friends, and he made sure that his friends also had good careers.
In case you missed what he said that he honors his friends to make sure that they have good careers. He wanted to make sure that his friends had good careers. We'll talk about that later.
How he honored all the contracts that he signed, except for the last one. But he honored them with his blood, his sweat, his tears, as he played these roles and was taking chemo at the same time. Some of these roles that had him doing things that were physical. Chad was an amazing person, and him being honored today is no surprise to me, because he spent his life from childhood until today always being recognized and receiving honors. He also honored his widow. He was so strong that even in his last days, 6 days before he died, he honored the promise that he made to her, and he married her. I close with this. Plato is credited with coining the phrase that art imitates life, since we're talking about storytelling. From what I know about history, he probably stole that phrase from Kemet or Egypt, from Imhotep. But Oscar Wilde came behind him, and he said that life imitates art. And in his case, meaning Chad's, it seems that life is imitating art. And if we pay attention in this thing called storytelling, a story is being told to us all, and it's often played out in cinema. As I take my seat, I want to say that before the pandemic, Netflix had a movie called Pandemic. Thank you for honoring my brother. And I want to say, Chad will always love you. And Mom and Dad will always love you. My mom was supposed to give this speech, but she gave it to me. And to me, you and Daddy are also legends, because it takes a king and a queen to create a king.
Well, Brother Boseman, fantastic speech. So yes, I'm not going to speak for him. But I do think that some people can read between some lines and, come up with whatever interpretation you like. But I think a lot of that supplements things that I've said before. Chadwick Boseman cared about his fellow actors. Yes, he would want movies, franchises to continue. But I've also talked about how important a leading Marvel role is, especially for a Black person. Leading roles are gold. If it were not for the power of a leading role, Robert Downey Jr. would not be relevant anymore, because his career was on a downturn until Iron Man. Y'all wouldn't even know who Tom Holland was if he wasn't doing backflips in his backyard until he became Spider-Man. Nobody was checking for Chris Hemsworth until he became Thor. No one gave two craps about Chris Pratt, except for Parks and Rec, until he became Star-Lord. Now he's damn near in everything.
Who?
Leading Marvel roles in movies is prime real estate. That is prime opportunity for an actor. You don't think Chadwick knew that? You don't think Chadwick would have wanted one of his other friends to go ahead and grab that role? Did y'all know, by the way, little funny irony, I think it was Days of Our Lives, or if it was General Hospital, I forget. Chadwick started off as like in soap operas, but he didn't like the direction of like what they were doing with his character. Did y'all know that they recast him with Michael B. Jordan at that time? Kind of funny, right? But at the same time, he wanted to make sure that that he was eating. He wanted to make sure that that was cool. He produced 21 Bridges and made sure that the other actors got higher pay and made sure that they were equally paid. Chadwick cares about these things. It's not just about the story, because we saw him care about the story when he said, yo, why are you having these black folks having European accents? He cares about the story. But you don't think that he also understood the dynamics and the importance of the first leading MCU role for a black character? That's T'Challa. First lead in the MCU. Not talking about Blade, talking about MCU. It's T'Challa. You don't think he would have wanted some other actor to get that opportunity, to get that shine? Even though he was working his tail off to keep fighting cancer. His brother knew this of Chadwick. Derrick knew this was Chadwick's mindset. So if Derrick sits here and says, I think based on my conversation with my brother, he would have wanted the role recast, I'm inclined to side with that. That sounds like a much more primary source than Marvel. And then when he threw in there, life imitates art. See, Derrick be thinking he's slick. You know, but hey, all joking aside, this is one of those things that like I've kind of said Marvel should stray away from. Art does not need to imitate life. We don't have to recreate Chadwick Boseman's real life tragedy and impose that on the fictional character of T'Challa. We don't have to do that. I've told y'all it's very similar to having Paul Walker's character in Fast and the Furious, Brian, having him die in a car crash just because Paul Walker tragically died in a car crash. You know how awkward that would be? You know how like weird that would be for the cast, for the crew, for everybody there? Hey, let's mimic exactly what happened. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that is exactly what they're doing. I'm just saying, I hope that's not what they do. I hope they don't make, T'Challa just die of cancer. When, by the way, Wakanda has a cure for cancer. If you read the comics, they've cured cancer a long time ago. Reginald Hunlin run. But yeah, it'll be a very sad thing, I think, if they do try to mimic or replicate that. I think that'll be problematic. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I will see y'all later. Wash your hands, wash your butts. Have a fantastic weekend. Peace. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.